Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Catherine from SEB Housing, and tonight I'm going to run the lottery for the 3 affordable condos at Christies Way in Holbrook. So I'm going to get the lottery underway in just a few moments. First, I just want to mention that if you have any questions during the session, you can either type them into the chat feature in Zoom, or you can unmute yourself. You were muted when you came into the session just to minimize any outside noise, but you can unmute yourself and ask a question if you'd rather do it that way. And the session is being recorded because it will be posted to SEB Housing's YouTube channel after tonight. So I'll give you some background information, then we'll get the drawing underway. All of this information about the lottery applicants and the application pool and all of that will be sent to you in a document along with the waiting list after tonight's session. So there are 3 affordable condos. All of them are 2 bedrooms. There were a total of 35 households in the lottery for those 3 units, and 21 of those households are type 2 households, and 14 of the households are type 1 households. So you indicated your household type or size on your application, and we confirmed that with you. So all households should already have a lottery application number, and that is in the form of a series of numbers. So in this case, your number is between A.001 and A.035. If you forgot that number, you don't have it, let me know, and I can let you know what that is, because that is the number that I will be calling during the lottery drawing. I'm not going to be calling out names to protect your privacy. So back when you completed your application, like I said, you indicated if you were a type 1 or a type 2 household. So for this lottery, you want to keep in mind that since they're all 2-bedroom condos, type 2 households are going to have priority over type 1 households. And that's because the affordable housing program is designed so that households do not have priority for units that have more bedrooms that they actually require. So when the drawing takes place tonight, you're not going to know exactly where you are going to fall on the wait list. And that's because I first need to sort the results from tonight's drawing to be able to compile those waiting lists. So even if you're drawn first, if your number is the first one that's drawn, it doesn't mean that you're going to be first on the waiting list, because all of the numbers tonight are mixed in with different household types. So household types 1 and 2 are going to be drawn together. So when I start the drawings, I'm going to be putting the index cards that I have here into the box that's next to me. And so there's 35 cards here. They each have lottery application numbers on them. And I will draw each number, and then I will show it to you, and I will take just a second to jot it down. So it shouldn't take too long with just 35 numbers, but it will take a few minutes. So I see there's one question in the chat here, so let me just. Yep, so there's just a question here. Just give me one moment. All right, so following the lottery, each household is going to be sent an email. That'll be sent tonight. You'll get that from me in a few hours. And it's going to include next steps in the process and also a summary of some of the information shared during tonight's session. So the lottery results from tonight, along with the waiting list, are going to be attached to that email. So when you receive that email and when you look at the waiting list, you're going to see that some household numbers are highlighted in green. And that's because those top households on the waiting list are going to be invited to immediately move forward in the process and submit their income, asset, and tax documentation to SEB Housing. So remember, to apply for this lottery, you did not need to submit any of that information yet. You were self-reporting what your income is, and we still need to confirm your eligibility for the affordable housing program based off of the verifications that we'll get from you. We'll be inviting a total of 9 households to move forward in the process. So that means 9 of you will be asked to provide income, asset, and tax documentation after tonight. And you might wonder why that is. If there's only 3 condos, why would we invite 9 households forward? And that's just a process that we have, established because we don't want to delay the process of selling these homes or to moving along in the process. Because if we just screen the top 3 households, it is likely that not all 3 of those households will either qualify or decide that they want to purchase the condos. So it is possible that the top 3 households will all follow through and, go through closing, purchase the homes. And in that case, there could be some people who have been found eligible for the program who don't actually have the ability to move forward and purchase one of those homes. So if that's the case, just know that you might not have the opportunity to move forward if you're not one of those top 3 households. And then if you're not one of the top 9 households and you're not being asked to move forward at all after tonight, just keep in mind that you could be asked to move forward if we go through all of the 9 households that were asked to submit their verification, and we need to move further down the waiting list. So if it takes more households to be screened to fill these or to purchase these homes, we will do that. So just keep in mind, you're not going to hear from us after tonight if you're not one of those top 9 households, unless all of the households ahead of you drop off the waiting list. And so if you are one of those 9 households that's called forward, you're going to be required to supply that required documentation within about a week to 10 days. You'll get a separate notice about that. There was a documentation requirements guide that was sent to you back when you received your lottery application number, and that document spelled out exactly what we'll be asking for. So how many pay stubs that you might need to send in and that sort of thing. So hopefully you've been able to gather some of that information already, and you'll have that ready for us in just a week or so when you get that separate notice from us asking you forward. Again, just keep in mind this lottery is a important step in the process, but it is not the final step in the process. You do still need to submit all of your information to us. You need to go through the purchase and sale, closing, all of that for these affordable condos. And so just keep that in mind. And all right, with that, there is one person here who's asking for their lottery application number. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that for them. If anybody else has any questions before I start the drawing, please let me know. And just give me 1 second here for this applicant. All right. Okay, one other person here. Yep, I have yours, Shirley, as well. All right, so any other questions before I start? I'm going to start the drawing. Like I said, I'm going to, there was no local preference for this lottery, so there's just going to be the one drawing. I've already pre-shuffled these cards here, so I'm going to put them into the lottery box that I have next to me, and I'm going to move them around some more. And I'm just going to take a couple of seconds after each number is drawn to jot it down. It's easier for me to write it out than to open another part of my computer here and do it that way. Okay, so this is the drawing for the condos. Again, this is not going to be the order of the waiting list necessarily, because this drawing includes households that are type 1 and type 2, and type 2 households are going to have priority for these 2 bedrooms. So the first number I'm drawing here is number 20. So I'm just going to say 20, it's A.020, but for these purposes, I'm just going to say the number. Second number I've drawn here is 34. 26. Number 6. Sometimes we do this digitally. We have a larger drawing. Shouldn't take too long. Number 2. 12. 18. 13. 4. 28. That was the 10th number drawn. That was number 28. Number 5. Number 8. 25. A little again. Number 7. 9. 30. 33. That was number 17. Number 33. 11. 1. 23. 29. 16. 21. 32. 22. That was the 25th number drawn. Number 22. 35. 3. 19. 24. 14. That was the 30th number drawn. Number 14. 31. 10. 17. 27. The final number is 15. So that was the drawing for condos at Christies Way. And again, this is not the waiting list order. just yet. I'm going to sort these results. I wrote down the order so I don't have to rewatch this recording, and I will be sorting them tonight. So you'll get an email from me. It will be coming from info@scbhousing.com, so info@scbhousing.com, and it will have you know, a synopsis again of the application pool, and then it will have the waiting lists that have been sorted attached to that, and you'll see the households who are in green will be those that are receiving a second notice from us inviting them forward to complete the program certification with us, which is sending in all of your verifications for income, asset, tax documentation, and going through the process. Any questions before I end the call? Thank you all so much for joining in, and you will hear from me soon. Thank you. Have a good night.